Hi everyone, Julia is here. I'm glad to see my channel Your Vedas Fusion. And the theme of today's video will be the laws of ancient Irish society. So let's begin. Of course, the wording of the word laws may confuse you as well as me. After all, they were created for those who did not know how to live according to their conscience. But as usual, in every century, as in every generation, there were their own preoccupations that did not allow people to think not only about meaning words spoken, but also about universe at whole. So let's move on to the laws in that time in Ireland.
Outlaws could be declared a criminal hiding from punishment, a woman who ran away from the family without a good reason. By the way, regarding marriage unions, watch my old video. A person who cannot take care of elderly parents, a person with a stained weapon. Also, people engaged in druidism were considered outlaws. Women spellcasters who made a living by witchcraft, and poets who sang very critical songs.
Well, this is a whole epic of our time and Holy Inquisition of that time. The possibilities of gifted, knowledgeable people were trampling into mud as never before. Do you believe in the abilities of some people, or is it all farce? Write in the comments your opinion. And by the way, subscribe to my channel, mark the bell in order not to miss new release, and push the button if you like this video. Well, Irish laws allowed for many types of God's judgment.
The most common were the cauldron test, in which the suspect had to remove an object thrown into it from a boiling cauldron, the red-hot iron test, the non-lethal poison test, in which the judge had to determine the degree of guilt by the symptoms of poisoning, and the test in which the suspect had to stand on a heated firestone. In difficult cases, they resorted to lots. In this case, 3 lots of different colors were either thrown into the water, watching which one of them would drown, or they forced the suspect to get one of them from the cauldron or back. For the same purpose, duels were practiced to first blood.
It seems that prison are recreation centers of those days. What we can say about our days? And who are the judges? Any king or judge who issued in court judgment, bishop who visited corrupt women, poet who composed bad poetry, and dishonorable ruler could be deprived of the privileges of his status and equate with commoners. And what honor meant in such society, we will consider with you in the video, a clue to which will appear here. How interesting it became clear that someone made a wrong decision, and where did the dirt on those judges come from, as it's not very clear.
In a word, a person who didn't have the proper amount of cattle and did not contain the necessary number of servants that he was obliged to have to maintain his status, lost his status. So the leader had to maintain a minimum of 10 servants, the king a minimum of 15. And you know, one of the early Irish laws says, a man is better than his origin. However, if a person acquired property, married favorably, could keep cattle and servants in a number that corresponded to a higher rank, only his grandson's status increased.
Let's call it investment in the future. In our present, fortunately or unfortunately, there is no such a thing. Life is different, and sometimes good families have dishonorable earl and bad families have good generation. As I often say, everything is relative. To sum up, these days the laws of course different, but they still similar in many ways. Time flows but does not wash away what was written, except a little bit that blurring the images. Well, I said so much, but you got a lot of stuff to talk about. See you next thematic video.